Hi kids. So this is going to be your very first video lesson that you have ever been assigned this year with us being in quarantine or blended learning. I'm still in quarantine, so that's why you see me dressed like this. I'm not going to really get ready if I don't have to. What I want you to have out, you would have gotten this a couple days ago, and I don't know how well it's going to zoom. But it is the guided notes and the BP packet for BP number 2. So it's how do scientists measure matter? And we actually did an activity with this in class the last time that you were here. And now we're going to take some notes. So we're going to do some notes on pages 1 and then also pages 2. I felt like this was a way that we could still keep up, and you would watch this video, pause it as you need to pause it. I brought my dog with me. He's walking around. I'll let you see him here in a second. But where was I at? I got distracted. Oh yeah, pause it whenever you need to pause it to fill in the blanks. I'm going to ask you to pause it at times to do some of the practice. But this will be a good way for us to kind of keep up with everything, okay? So whenever we look at measuring matter, there's going to be 4 main types of measuring that we're going to be doing in physical science. And this lists out those 4 types. So we're going to measure mass or weight. There really is a difference between the two, and we'll talk about those eventually. We're going to be measuring volume, temperature, and then length. So those are the 4 things that whenever you were in class and you did the activity the other day, we were trying to take this into account, give you some experience with all of those. We're really used to the English system. We have to get used to the metric system. So there's really 2 major types of systems of measurement that are still used today, and we in America use the English system. It's an older system of measuring derived from common things found in nature. So there's going to be a video that I'm going to attach to this lesson that I would like for you to watch. Gives you a little bit of a background of the English system and where it came. But there's actually only 3, and this graphic is not in your notes, but there's only 3 countries that still use the English system. So the United States, Liberia, and Myanmar. Everybody else uses the metric system, but we're kind of stubborn, and we still use it, even though Great Britain has given it up a long time ago. And then there's some history again with why Liberia and Myanmar also still use it. So in the English system, you know, things that you're a little more used to would be, if we were to talk mass or weight, then we're probably using things like ounces, pounds, or tons, and that's stuff that we're used to. You know, how many pounds does somebody weigh? How many ounces is a steak we're about to eat? Do we have a half-ton truck, 1-ton truck, so 3/4-ton truck? Those are ways that we've heard our English language being used with measuring mass or weight. For volume, it would be things like gallons, cup, fluid ounce, quart. So, you know, we buy our gasoline in gallons. A lot of recipes are going to call for certain amounts, cups of something, cups of flour, cups of water, or fluid ounces. Your motor oil is measured in quarts. So we see all of those, and we're pretty familiar with what that size is. Because these are things we grew up with. Temperature is measured in Fahrenheit, so whenever we talk temperature, we tend to talk in Fahrenheit. We're taking your guys' temperatures now as spot checks, and our thermometers are going to measure in Fahrenheit. We could toggle, we could go back and forth and do Celsius, but we're very comfortable and more used to the Fahrenheit temperatures. And then length is measured in inches, feet, feet, and then yards. So you know, think about how many inches are you going to get your hair cut if you have longer hair and you are going to get that haircut. How many feet tall are you? Football field measured in yards. Those are things we're really, really familiar with. But unfortunately, in the science world, or fortunately, we do everything in metric. And the reason why we like to use metric is it's based on the number 10. It is so easy to convert between units in the metric system. The English system is just a mess when you convert. 12 inches in a foot, but then 3 feet in a yard. There's no consistency. 16 ounces in, I'm not saying that right, 32 ounces in a gallon. how many cups are in a gallon. That's 16, right, you guys? It's been a while. My brain's fried right now, I'm gonna tell you. But with the metric system, it's based on the number 10. Literally everybody else in the world uses it because it is so easy. Americans were just a little stubborn. And with these, this will be the stuff we're trying to get you used to. So mass, we're going to be using units like grams and kilograms and milligrams, and we'll probably use grams the most. Honestly, that's what our scales measure in. With volume, we'll probably use milliliters the most, but liter would be kind of the parent, the base unit of that. Length, we're going to use centimeter. Well, we'll probably go back and forth between centimeters and meters, and we'll use that more second semester. And temperature, you won't use Kelvin, but just to realize that's the metric system, we'll be using Celsius. When you go on to TC chemistry or regular chemistry, you're going to get introduced to the Kelvin scale, very likely. So realize it's out there. This is the link that I'll post, and I would like for you to watch. It's just a 3-4 minute video clip that lets you know about the metric system and some comparables and how it came about. But we'll do that here in a bit. So these are, if you flip your paper over on page 2 now, these are the units for the metric and an English comparable that we just want you to become more familiar with. So for volume, there's 2 main ones that we're going to look at. The milliliter, abbreviated ml, and here's where I know you'll have to pause. I'm going to talk faster than you're writing, and that's okay. You can always pause, fill it in, and then push play again. The English comparable is a fluid ounce. It's abbreviated many times FLOZ, and which one is bigger? And you had some experience hopefully with this in the activity the other day, and you realized that a fluid ounce is bigger than a milliliter. A liter is the metric. It's abbreviated with an L. It can be capitalized or lowercase. The English comparable is a gallon, and that tends to be abbreviated GAL, and a gallon is bigger than a liter. Okay, we're just wanting you to start to get a feel for these things, and that's why we went through that activity the other day. Temperature. So Celsius is the metric that we're going to be using. It's abbreviated C. A lot of times there's a little naught in front of that. I just didn't put that in here this time. Fahrenheit is the comparable. The English unit abbreviation is an F. And a Celsius degree, if you say you increased 1 degree Celsius, then that's almost about 2 degrees Fahrenheit. So Celsius is a larger increase than a Fahrenheit would be. Okay? For the mass and weight, the two that we had some experience for you to get a feel for back in the lab was grams and then kilograms. So if we look at grams first, its abbreviation is G. The comparable is an ounce, which is OZ. And an ounce is larger than a gram. Okay? And again, we gave you some experience with that yesterday or the day before with the activity. Kilogram, abbreviated kg. The English comparable is a pound, and it's abbreviated LBS. I have no idea why there was that connection between the two. And a kilogram is bigger than a pound. And again, you got to experience that hopefully in the activity. You got to feel each one of those and notice that a kilogram is larger than a pound. So what I want you to do, oh, sorry, I forgot about this one. Length. So with length, we looked, I think, at both of these, actually, centimeters and also meters. So centimeter, abbreviated cm. The English comparable is inch, abbreviated in, and an inch is larger than a centimeter. Those are things that you looked up with the lab to kind of help you through. And then meter, abbreviated m. The English comparable is a yard, YD, and a meter is larger than a yard. So some things we want you to start to connect as we learn about this, the comparables, and just start to get a feel for which one's larger. We're not going to ask you to memorize which one's larger. We would like for you to know similar comparisons. So a centimeter is very similar to an inch. A meter is very similar to a yard. And we want you to be really good with what unit goes with what type of measurement. And that is what this practice is right here at the bottom of page 2 in your packet. So what I would like for you to do is actually pause your video, pause what you're watching, and use a pencil in case you're wrong. Put in the appropriate metric. So I don't want English. I don't want pounds or ounces or yards or Fahrenheit, I want you to be thinking, and use the table up above to help you, what would be the appropriate measurement in the metric as a unit? You're not giving a number, you're just giving a unit. So if we did number 1 together, what would be an appropriate unit for the mass of a paper clip? And so you're going back, you're looking at the table, and your two options are either a gram or a kilogram. Well, a gram is pretty small, right? Kilogram's really, really big. And think about a paper clip, you know, it's not gonna weigh a whole lot. So it'd probably make a lot more sense to talk about its mass in grams than it would in kilograms. So what I would put for a correct answer here is a G, okay? Or write the word out gram. But I think for the answer key, I just put all the units as abbreviations. I didn't write it out. So hit pause, try this, and then we'll come back and see how you did. Okay, hopefully you're back and you hit pause. So let's check and see what the answers are. Okay, so again, you could just do a quick check with this. Milk would be measured in a baby's bottle in milliliters. The length of your hair, centimeters, would be better than saying meters. Temperature, that's Celsius, that's our metric. Gas in your car in Canada, they measure that in liters, they don't measure in gallons. How much a person masses? Well, that's when we probably want to talk kilograms. Okay, how many kilos are you? And then the length of a football field, the comparable would be the meter. So these are all the metric ones. All right, so that is it for now. Do double check. I honestly don't remember in my brain what I assigned for homework. I think I had you at some point read an article. You might have already done that, but please do double check what your homework assignment is and have that done for the next time that we see you. Hope all is well. Oh, I told you that I would let you see my dog. He's being kind of lazy over here. Oh, he heard me talk. Say hi, Jax. So he's my buddy. He's helping me right now. How you doing, Jax? Tell him hi. Yeah. All right, you guys. Hope everything's okay. Take care. See you soon.